Hey everyone, 10,000 cattle killed in one night. Is this another attack on our food supply? Let's go over some important information.
Now, thousands of cattle dead after extreme heat and high humidity scorched parts of southwest Kansas last week.
Welcome back to all the subs. Thank you for your great comments. In fact, quite a bit of you mentioned this topic, so let's touch on it. If you're brand new here and like weekly updates and weekly tips and how-tos, be sure to hit the notification bell so you guys stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Wow, talk about a bad week in Kansas. Reports are saying that there's over 3,000 head of cattle dead in one night, in one small spot. Daily Wire and Progressive Farmer are reporting of the possibility of over 10,000 head of cattle killed. What's going on? This is way too weird for it to be just a natural event. So in this video, I'm gonna go over a few facts, what's reported, what's going on, some theories about what y'all are saying, because really, the suspicions here, one of them's probably true. But more so, I'm looking forward to your guys' comments. Insider reports. You can always bank on reading through your guys' comments and picking up very good, interesting new theories that make a lot of sense a lot of times. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video. I'm gonna show you the damage it did to America. Many reports are saying that it got up to 108 degrees and the heat had stayed at a high temperature for 3 days in a row. Mass media is reporting and putting the blame on the heat wave. So the theory is the cattle build up heat in their bodies throughout the day. Through the night, it takes at least 4 hours for them to de-stress.
When you have auto glass damage, trust SafeLight. And one easy appointment,
from the heat. They're saying that they didn't get the chance to de-stress from the heat, and it was a perfect storm that killed all these cattle overnight. But the fact of the matter of them all being concentrated in such a small area and being alive one day and dead the next, that just doesn't make sense to me. So the confined spot where like over 3,000 cattle died overnight was Ulysses, Kansas. The question that comes to mind to me is how big this heat wave was. It was blanketing over half of the United States. So how in such a small little spot does that many cattle die overnight? Other theories are saying it was mismanagement of the cattle. Grains and particular bales are fed to cattle, and different feed causes different temperatures in the stomach. And when dealing with extreme temperature changes, management teams would then come in and change the diet of the cattle. So it brings up the question, was it bad management with the feed of the cattle dealing with the heat wave?
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel broad lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Real quick, man, this is a lesson coming back through the spirit. It says 10,000 cattle died in Kansas, southwest Kansas, due to heat wave, okay, which we have been seeing temperatures of 90 degrees and above for the last week or so. But it was hot, but it wasn't that hot. It was hot, but it wasn't as humid. Okay, you still had a breeze in the air, okay? And this common, well, I won't say common, but it's been the norm in the Midwest for years, because the Midwest is pretty much landlocked unless you live in Chicago, Detroit, Ohio. You know, you are surrounded by a body of water. But when you're like in Kansas, Missouri, you know, Iowa, places like that, you're pretty landlocked, and there's no real no body of water to really get your substance from. Okay, so they're talking about cows dropping dead from heat exhaustion, but cows understand how to navigate through the land and keep themselves cool. You know, I do know that, even though I'm not a farmer any type. But when you look at cows, they understand the elements, so to speak, because when they're hot, they'll go shade themselves under a tree or stand in water, or when it's getting ready to rain, they will all kind of herd together and stand under the tree to keep themselves warm, or they'll go back into the saddle, so to speak. Okay, so I'm not buying that whole heat wave thing, because like I said, it is hot, but you've never heard about this before. And come a time that they're pretty much burning down all these factories, these processing plants. Like today, another one just burnt down. Okay, so that would make it 98 from last year's total. Okay, because they've been burning down sometimes between 1 and 2 or possibly 3 factories a month for the last year or so. Okay, so with that being said, man, they're doing something. Okay, because like I said in the other video, you still had a great amount of food that was here in Kansas and Missouri. Okay, and the shelves wasn't really being affected as much, though there were shortages, but people were still well off out here. They weren't panicking because, you know, people out here, they can make good money. If you make 80, 90 to 100 grand here in Missouri or Kansas, you're doing good. $4 gas price ain't gonna really affect your pockets. I mean, it may be a little inconvenience, but when you making 150,000 a year and you got cheap houses and stuff like that, 100, 200, 300,000, I mean, you're still in good shape. $4.50 gas price ain't gonna hurt your pocket, so you can still live life as usual. So we're getting ready to see shortages here, man. Okay, things are getting ready to happen, and shit, all hell's getting ready to break loose. Okay, because matter of fact, I'm reading a couple of comments, and I want to make one point too, because it makes sense too. I saw these 7 what appears to be Black Hawk helicopters, but obviously they wasn't Black Hawks, because Black Hawks, they don't fly that low. But there was some type of black helicopters, could be like cattle transport helicopters. Don't know the real name of it, but the ones that try to transport the cattle and so forth. It was 7 of them in unison. They was kind of flying in formation just like 2 nights ago, 2 or 3 nights ago. Matter of fact, I want to say, when was that? Tuesday. Matter of fact, yeah, that was 3 days ago, Tuesday. As I was coming back to the house, it was a little bit after 8 o'clock, going on 9 o'clock, coming back to the crib. They flying in the area where I live at, okay, which, you know, we on the Missouri side, but it was 7 of them, and these were some heavy duty helicopters, and I've seen these particular ones transport cattle from that stall to that stall. It happens. Okay, so okay, I'm like, damn, that's strange, you know, because I took a video of it, matter of fact, and I sent it to the brothers, and I probably can add it to post production. I mean, it probably won't really mean anything, but I did see them. And later on that night, around 11 o'clock, I went to bed and I heard them fly back over the house. Okay, so it takes them no time to get from northwest Missouri to southern Kansas. I mean, it really doesn't take that long at all, because Kansas City is considered northwest Missouri. Okay, I believe it's northwest Missouri, and then Kansas is west of Missouri. All right, so southern Kansas is nowhere from here for real. A couple hours of that, and they can get there within 30 minutes to an hour. Don't take any time at all. Just thought I throw that out there, because it seemed kind of odd that they will be flying at that time of night, and then all of a sudden 2-3 days later these things drop dead. I'm not buying it. Okay, this is a attack on the food supply, because hey, those cattle, somebody did the math, they said that was over 5 million pounds of meat, you know, so we'll see. But it says, wow, that's crazy, it's been over 105 here in Arizona for the past couple of weeks. So I guess the cattle over here are used to the heat. So first, killed millions of chickens, caused 1 tested positive for anthrax, then food processing plants burning down or shutting down this, all by design. It's crazy. Yep. It says, could be the enemy used the drones to keep them away from the water source so they would die from the heat. Cows spook easily. Yeah, well. And it says, this is Sherlyn Alexander. It says, I'm from Kansas. I lived there 35 years and still have family there. First, Kansas have unseasonably cool weather through early June. We did, okay? Missouri did, and Kansas, okay? Because, I mean, technically, the states are right next door. You got Missouri, then Kansas. Illinois, Missouri, then Kansas. Okay, it's kind of like the 3 unison states. But it was true, because the beginning of June, you had 60-degree temperatures, man, 70 degrees. Fucking May, shit, you had decent temperatures, but we didn't go over 85 degrees in May. In April, it was still cold, shit. You had 40, 30, 40, 50-degree temperatures in April, okay? Shit, we still had snow in March, as it seemed like, flurries here and there. So it was cold all the way up until earlier this month. This heat wave just hit this week. Last week was pretty comfortable. The week before that, it was pretty comfortable. In the months of May, it was pretty cool, you know, on the verge of being cold, you know, because the rain really kicked in at the end of May, you know, because all that rain that was supposed to come from April, it came in May. Okay, like they call April showers, May flowers. Well, shit. We didn't have that. It was cold in May. All right, so them dying from heat, that just don't add up. This is an attack on the food because they're getting ready to bring in a famine, man, like we've been trying to tell you, Jakes, and you heathens. It says last week, the first week, they had temperatures over 80 degrees. That is true. It says Kansas have temperatures well over 95, often in the low hundreds for days in July and August. And that's because it's so landlocked. It says, so I don't believe for a minute that many cattle die from heat exhaustions in one day. It says after literally just 3 or 4 days of temps over 80 degrees, that has never happened before. Definitely just not from the heat. Not to mention, as long as the cattle aren't penned in too tight of an area with no access to water, they know how to take care of themselves, moving to cooler areas and sun moves standing in water. And hey, she would know that because if she grew up on a farm and she's living in a place like Kansas, she would know that. Okay, so this is getting it from the horse's mouth. Okay, another comment. Debbie Gonzalez says, I heard that the two of the largest egg ranches in the country were mysteriously burnt down. What the hell is going on now? Cattle, they're attacking the food supply, man. Okay, this is what it is. So you people, man, they getting ready. The Lord is getting ready to fuck this place up, man. How about your mouth? Oh man, the Lord ain't playing no games, man. You know, talking about heat and humidity, man. You're right. Check this out. Right, and it wasn't hotter than any other time, though it was hot. I mean, it is hot. I mean, it is okay, but I won't even call it unseasonably because everything is all whacked. But we've experienced this type of heat before, and this never happened. 2018, when we had mass drought out here, it was hot as hell, hotter than this. Like we was literally working through this shit, man. You know, you hydrate, you drink water, you be straight, but still. It's something going on here, and they're getting ready to attack the food supply. That's what this is all about. That's a lot of money wasted, man. That's a lot of money, man. And I won't put it past some devil to try to, you know, even though they already dead, they'll try to butcher them and sell that damn meat. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't doubt it. All right. 97 food processing plants were set on fire since 2021. Cows being targeted, chickens killed by the millions. Our food is under attack. Yep. And that's the Lord attacking you people. You know, the Lord is attacking you people because you Americans, man, your appetite. You know, you got hurt, not the ya Allah. Whatever. Man.
Our Hillshire farm crafts.
Anyway, let's get into some precepts. I've rendered enough. So anyway, this is the book of Jeremiah 21:5. It says, and I myself will fight against you with the outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in anger and in fury and in great wrath. This is the wrath of the Heavenly Father, man. It says, and I will smite the inhabitants of this city, both men and beasts, and they should die of a great pestilence, man. And that's coming. Okay, even though this is going into Israel in the time of the Babylonians took his king, which the Babylonians are nothing but Assyrians. But when they took his captive, okay, they smote the nation of Israel, okay. But symbolically, the beasts are being taken. Why? Because, hey, the Lord is getting ready to bring the worst famine in America, man. Okay, all hell is getting ready to break loose in the streets of Babylon the Great. So, hey, you that's not into know, y'all better take heed. All right, those of you that's into know, you brothers and sisters out there, prepare, gird up your loins, man. Okay, because hey, mass blackouts, okay, more euthanizing these goods and so forth. All hell is breaking loose here. You know, out there in Ohio, parts of the state seeing blackouts for 2 or 3 days because the power companies are cutting the power to allegedly conserve energy for the grid. Okay, they talking about the grids are overloaded through the heat. Okay, sure. They're practicing these drills, man, like that Jade Ham shit. Going back to 2015, the mock drills, when what they do, they would set up a replica neighborhood and they would send troops in there to storm it so they can know the layout. They got layouts of each and every last one of these neighborhoods or these urban areas that they do mock drills on, so they could be justified on coming in and taking you Jakes out doing an hour of martial law. You can look that up. All right. This is 2nd Esdras 15, and I'm gonna start at verses 11. It says, "Behold, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter, but I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." The land of Egypt is America, man. I said, okay. "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before." Okay. Remember, the Lord killed the firstborn. Okay. The firstborn of cattle. And the Lord smited Egypt with those plagues, and I would destroy the land thereof. And Egypt should mourn, and the foundations of it should be smitten with the plague and the punishment that the Most High should bring upon it. Okay. "And they that till the ground shall mourn." And who are those? Those are farmers. It says, "For their seed shall fell through the blasting and hell with a fearful constellation." Okay. And hey, these cattle are literally dying, dropping dead. 10,000. That's gonna make a meat markup. That means beef in Missouri and Kansas is getting ready to skyrocket, man. Because if anybody know anything about Kansas or Missouri, they're very big on agricultural farming. Like, farming is very big out here. That's how a lot of people made a living in these two states. You see, now shit, that alone, now they're not gonna get the produce they need. So now meats, everything is getting ready to go up in this state. You know, you still got it for a decent price, but now shit is getting ready to inflate here in Missouri and Kansas. So this is a beautiful thing, man. Call Allah Yahweh Shemi Awashai, because the Most High is finna bring the hammer to you people. All right. So this is the book of Zephaniah 1, and I'm gonna start at 2. It says, "I will utterly consume all things from off the land," says the Lord. "I will consume men and beasts, and I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea, and the stumbling blocks with the wicked. I will cut off men from off the land," says the Lord, man. Okay. So that's the whole point. You know, the Lord is getting ready to cut this place off for good. "And I will stretch out my hand upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and I will cut off the remnant of Baal from this place in the name of the Chimrooms with the priests." And you Chimrooms, man, that's basically like priests. They wore black robes. They basically worship Baal. These are basically like them ISUPK niggas, man. They're basically the modern day Chimrooms that worship Baal. Okay, they was so-called prophets, false prophets, but they had black cloaks on, man. Okay, and they claim to worship Yahweh Shai, but they were idolaters, man. They worship Baal, just like a lot of you Israelites out there. You worship Baal, which is the modern day Baal, which is going to be that MOTB, and ultimately this system and the guys you bow down to, man. Okay, but I'm gonna end it there, brothers. Giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and with that, shalom and a Baba Ball, Lords, will you edify? Shalom and a Baba Ball.